The goal for our project was to create a first-person game in Unreal Engine that would depict heaven and hell in a unique way. While most teams used experiences that had no endings, Noam and I decided to create a game that had a start and a finish.
When Mike and I met to speak about our gameplay ideas, we both agreed it should be some kind of puzzle game. I took inspiration from a game called Monument Valley, which uses the Penrose effect. Penrose effect then became our focus.
We tried to get the Penrose effect to work in our first-person game, but it didn't, so we opted to stay away from it. And we stumbled across a different game called VVVVV, and this game had a unique flipping mechanic that allowed the player to change from ceiling to floor to complete puzzles.
After countless hours and a little help, we were able to get the flipping mechanism into Unreal. We decided on only flipping gravity. Flipping the player was too disorienting and hurt gameplay experience.
The next part was more challenging, where not only do I have to think about level design in terms of flip to gravity, but also I had to think about obstacles that could get in the way. So the traditional maze level that I created at the very beginning just did not work.
For map 2, we ended up making more of an obstacle course. It was still a maze, but you had to jump from platform to platform using the flip mechanic. This ultimately failed because we ended up only flipping gravity and not the character. We had our maze and we had our flip mechanic, but no identity. No heaven, no hell. We were stumped. Our professor sat us down and challenged us to think and questioned if we had ever spoken to each other about what heaven and hell actually meant to us.
The professor then asked me what my definition of hell was, and I immediately went back and thought about everything that makes hell for me. And the only thing that really came to mind was this feeling of anxiety, of being stuck in a space, being put somewhere where I don't feel comfortable. And I think that's inspiration for what turned out to be our final map. When it came down to the final map, we had to really sit down and put everything together. We took some parts of the anxiety, the claustrophobia, the darkness, a little bit of light. We had these up and down jumping puzzles. We had rooms that led to nowhere for the player to explore, and gave the player choices.
It finally clicked. We added a timer to create anxiety and push the player to complete the maze. And at the same time, this timer could give them relief and a sense of calm.